Walk into a jewelry store and get these. These are exclusive right here, right now.
Oh, coming up in 1 minute. Look at this. This is the white pearls. I mean, if you're talking about the classic collection, if you talk about the classic, the quintessential strand of pearls, whether it's royalty, whether it's red carpet, think about it. There's never been a time in history, Josh, where pearls have not been in style and fashion. Rubies, emeralds, sapphires, diamonds have all come in and out of favor.
Absolutely. 50 years ago, 50 years, 100 years ago, 1,000 years ago, and you better believe well into the future.
This is both the stranded earrings. We're coming back on the other side of the break. Do not go anywhere, because Adam Freeman every Monday night has the Monday Night Show. We're going to come back. We're going to continue to spoil you. See you soon.
Happy Monday. Every Monday starts with the Monday Night Show.
Adam, tonight couldn't be more dazzling. With the great big jewelry takeover, you'll find event pricing with up to 30% off your favorites like Carol Brody, Victoria Wick, Michael Anthony, Absolute, Sevilla Silver, and more. That's a lot of sparkle, Adam. We've also got jewelry storage and cleansers on hand to keep it all looking great.
My singular goal is to improve the quality of people's lives. Everything we do is intended to be unlike any other company of our kind. We just make exceptional vitamins so you could have exceptional health. It's not important that you get the products I'm offering, but it's very important that you get the information I'm sharing, because information is the key to being a healthy person.
Overwhelmed, you're stressed, what's coming is freedom. I want you to know you are seen today. Where you've been has nothing to do with where you are now. If you make new choices in this moment, in this day, your whole life can change. Say yes! Say yes!
There's so many things to love about HSN, but one thing that makes shopping here fun is FlexPay. Get it home now without the stress of paying all at once. Why pay full purchase price today when you can pay over time? Buy what you want now, pay it off later with your credit or debit card. FlexPay. It's that easy. Exclusively at HSN.
The pearl's ethereal beauty has inspired art. Exploration is the world's first gemstone. It is the queen of gems, the gem of queens. And if you think about, the history pages, whether it be the magazines or whether it be, of course, the televisions that we watch, so often, even in this modern era of 2017, you see a strand of pearls. Now, in the past, gemstones were the playthings of the rich and famous, but thanks to the wonderful partnership that we have with Imperial Pearls and Josh and his family, we can bring you this. It is both the strand and the studs in genuine freshwater pearls. Enormous, gorgeous freshwater pearls, and the price is less than $80.
On December 25th, we launched this as a Today Special. We sold out. We had it in black, multicolor, and white. We brought in most quantity in white because white is typically the most popular color. We sold out on the black. We sold out on the multicolor, and we are on the final quantity of our white. This is the best value that Imperial Pearl has ever brought to HSN. We have never brought a strand for less than $90 before. Ever. Not only do you have a strand of pearls, you also get with this for $79.95 the matching stud earrings. That is unheard of. These pearls are, I believe, up to 11 millimeters.
Yeah.
Up to 11 millimeters. In the world of pearls, you have the freshwater pearl, which is standard size, about 6 millimeters. each and every millimeter size that you go up from there, it gets more and more and more rare. So you have your entire Imperial Pearls wardrobe right here in lustrous, large, jumbo size freshwater pearls. Now look at this necklace. When you open that box up, it comes to your door and you see this necklace for the very first time. You're gonna notice first the size and luster of each one of these pearls. The way that the light goes through the surface of these pearls, hits the center and glows. The way that the luster has, it looks almost wet, like has a sheen on the outermost surfaces. The next thing you're gonna notice is the weight and the feel of luxury that this necklace has. The feel of luxury on this necklace is because each and every pearl has a knot between it, right? Our artists actually, after we collect these, sort these, select these pearls, then we string them and hand knot them between each pearl. That's so important because that hand knotting process creates the perfect distance between each pearl so that they never rub up against each other, yet creating this luxurious feeling where the necklace will melt right into your hand. Then we finish this necklace with the classic sterling silver filigree clasp. Right here, each and every pearl on this strand took 4 to 4.5 years to be cultivated by the most passionate pearl farmers in the entire world. Each and every pearl. These are the larger size pearls. So a 6mm pearl will take about 3.5 years. These will take around 4.5 years per pearl. And then after that, we have the harvest, right? And during the harvest, we have all these inferior quality pearls that we sort through that have bad shape. See, all of these are your average smaller size, off color, Baroque shape. We would choose none of these just to get one of these. You are looking at between the natural white color, the luster, you are looking at the top 5% of an annual harvest. You'll notice that on the surface of these pearls, you'll see some cerclay, and that not every pearl is exactly perfectly round. However, I find such beauty in that imperfection. As no two women in the world are exactly alike, no two pearls are exactly alike. Each of these pearls tells the story of its life underwater. Each of these pearls is perfect in its own way because there is no pearl exactly like it. Each pearl is completely unique. Again, these shapes of pearls form because pearls are made of microscopic crystals. And during that 4.5 years underwater, while these pearls are growing, the crystals are layering on top of each other, and the pearl begins to spin in that pocket within the mollusk, creating these beautiful cerclay Baroque shapes. But you put them all on a string, hand knot them, and put them all next to each other, and look at it on her neck. That look on her neck is like the look of $1 million. That is that refinement, that elegance.
Clearly, I come from the Southern Hemisphere. These look like South Sea pearls.
Yeah, I have a strand right here.
You've got the look, you've got the appeal, you've got the luster, the size of these pearls. Now, the first thing that Josh alluded to was the weight. When you take this strand out of the box and feel the quality, I've got to say, there's something very sensual about a pearl. You know, there's great beauty in diamonds and rubies and sapphires and tourmalines and so forth, but there's the sensual feel of a pearl. But these, you feel it straight away. If I had the earrings alone, let me show you here. If I had these earrings alone in Australia, only a year ago where I was back there, these would have been triple the price of what we're showing. Just the earrings alone. The fact that you are getting the necklace and the earrings for less than $80 is truly an opportunity purchase.
So you're from Australia. You're from the home of the white South Sea pearl.
That's right.
Australia is the home to the most luxurious pearl in the world, the most rare and the most expensive. I have a strand right here.
There you go.
These are this is an independently appraised $12,000 strand of Australian South Sea pearls from your home.
There you go.
From the
That's what I was saying.
The northern coast of Australia. Now you'll see that these freshwater pearls have the size, these are so large, 6mm is your average size. When you get up into the 10.5mm size, you have stepped into the realm of the